Yeah, the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognize you particularly, but half recognize.
At 70, Rowan Atkinson, the genius behind Mr. Bean, finally speaks the truth we've all suspected. Behind the silent expressions, slapstick, comedy, and billions of laughs, there's a story of struggle few know. Born painfully shy, battling a severe stutter and childhood anxieties, Rowan's journey to global stardom was anything but easy. The man who made the world laugh without saying a word endured years of fear, self-doubt, and personal battles that almost derailed him entirely. Today, we peel back the curtain on the private life of a comedic legend and reveal how the quiet boy became the most iconic humorist of our time. Born on January 6, 1955, in Consett, a quiet town in County Durham, England, Rowan Sebastian Atkinson came into a family already shaped by tragedy. Before he was old enough to form memories, his eldest brother Paul died as a baby, leaving him and his two surviving brothers, including Rodney Atkinson, who would later become a well-known economist. Growing up on a farm, Rowan lived a disciplined and introverted life, but everything changed when he turned 5. That was when his severe stutter began, an affliction that would become the central struggle of his entire childhood. At Durham Chorister School, Rowan's stutter made him the target of relentless bullying. His face, which would one day make him famous, was ridiculed. Some students mocked him, calling him an alien. Even a young Tony Blair, who was 2 years younger and later became Prime Minister, remembered the cruelty Rowan faced. Ken John Grove, who worked at the school, described Rowan as a shy boy with a rubbery face and a speech problem that made him stand apart from everyone else. Rowan spent most of his school years alone, trapped in silence. But something extraordinary happened whenever he stepped onto a stage. His stutter disappeared instantly. The boy who struggled to say his own name could suddenly perform with perfect fluency. That strange miracle was the key that unlocked his destiny. Even though he was constantly bullied, Rowan excelled academically. He earned top grades in science and entered Newcastle University in 1973 to study electrical and electronic engineering. The world believed he would become a great engineer, not a comedian. By 1975, he graduated and joined Queen's College, Oxford, to complete his master's degree. He even began a PhD, but while he seemed like a quiet engineering student, on stage he became a different person, bold, expressive, and completely free. At Oxford, Rowan joined the Drama Society, and that changed his life forever. It was there he met a young writer named Richard Curtis, a meeting that would shape the future of British comedy. Curtis recalled seeing Rowan for the first time, an awkward, quiet man in the corner until Rowan performed. His brilliance stunned everyone. In 1976, Rowan performed at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, gaining attention for his unique physical comedy style. But his journey wasn't easy. Between 1978 and 1979, the BBC rejected him again and again. His stutter made interviews stressful, and rejections pushed him toward depression. He seriously considered quitting comedy and returning to engineering. But he discovered something critical when he became a character. The stutter vanished. This realization saved his career. Everything changed in 1979 when he joined the new sketch show, Not the 9 O'Clock News. The first episode was a disaster, less than 1 million viewers. Some critics called it the worst thing ever broadcast, but the BBC controller believed in it and ordered another series. That decision saved the show and launched for careers Rowan Atkinson, Mel Smith, Pamela Stevenson, and Griff Rhys-Jones. Behind the scenes, there were conflicts. Chris Langham was fired after the first series, something Rowan disagreed with deeply. Budget cuts hit the show hard, forcing them to scale down production. But then came the sketch that changed everything. Gerald the Gorilla. Rowan, in a gorilla suit, shouted, "Wild!" I was absolutely livid. The sketch was a sensation. Scientists even started jokingly calling groups of baboons a flange. Copied straight from the sketch, the show won a BAFTA and a Silver Rose at the Montreux Festival. Rowan's career was officially launched. By 1983, he and Richard Curtis created Blackadder, filmed partly at Alnwick Castle. The first season was expensive, difficult, and nearly canceled due to huge production costs. But an international Emmy saved it, with writer Ben Elton joining for the second season. Blackadder became sharper, smarter, and funnier. Characters like Queenie, played by Miranda Richardson, became iconic, and guest actors like Tom Baker delivered unforgettable performances. The comedy reached its emotional peak with Blackadder Goes Forth in 1989. Set in the trenches of World War I, it managed to be hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. Its final scene, the soldiers charging into no man's land, became one of the most powerful endings in British TV history. Rowan won a BAFTA for his performance, and the show solidified itself as one of the greatest ever made. But the real global turning point came on January 1st, 1990, when the world met Mr. Bean, a nearly silent character inspired by Rowan's own childhood isolation. Mr. Bean became an instant phenomenon. One episode, The Trouble with Mr. Bean, was watched by 18.7 million people. The show was sold to 245 countries. It didn't matter what language you spoke, Mr. Bean made everyone laugh. But Rowan had a dark confession. He hated playing Mr. Bean. The character was physically exhausting. Since Bean rarely spoke, the fame was enormous, but it pushed Rowan even deeper into burnout. In 2002, he shifted Mr. Bean into animation, allowing him to voice the character without the painful physical performance. The animated series became a hit and continued into the 2020s. In 2012, Rowan performed Mr. Bean one last major time at the London Olympics, watched by nearly 900 million people. It became one of the most iconic comedic moments of the decade, but it exhausted him for weeks. Beyond Bean, Rowan surprised the world with roles like the nervous priest in For Weddings and a Funeral, which made $245 million, and the hilarious spy parody Johnny English, which launched a franchise. His engineering skills even helped him shape some of the film's tech-heavy scenes. Rowan's personal life, however, was complex. He met Sunetra Sastry while filming Blackadder, and they married in 1990. They had 2 children, Lily and Benjamin, and were together for 24 years. But in 2014, they separated. The media exploded when Rowan began a relationship with Louise Ford, a comedian 27 years younger. He never commented publicly, saying only that he refuses to talk about his personal life. In 2017, Louise gave birth to their daughter, Ela, despite his age. Rowan embraced fatherhood again at 62. Rowan also had a shocking real-life hero moment. In 2001, during a family flight over Kenya, their pilot fainted. Rowan took control of the aircraft himself, despite having no training, and kept it steady until the pilot recovered. This quiet, introverted man became a life-saving hero. In 2023, Rowan Atkinson made headlines in an unexpected way, not for a new comedy, but for speaking out on environmental issues. In a Guardian article, he criticized claims about electric cars, sparking a heated debate. Scientists pushed back, Parliament discussed the matter, and suddenly, the man best known for silent, physical comedy found himself at the center of a loud national controversy. It was a surprising reminder that beyond the laughter, Rowan's opinions carry weight. In 2022, he returned to physical comedy with Man vs. Bee on Netflix, proving that even in his later years, he could make audiences laugh effortlessly. But the reality of performing physically demanding scenes was taking a toll on his aging body. He admitted that during Mr. Bean's holiday, even something as simple as riding a bicycle could leave him completely exhausted. Rowan knew he couldn't continue performing stunts forever, and the challenge of balancing his physical limits with his comedic brilliance became increasingly clear when he turned 70 on January 6, 2025. Fans worldwide speculated about retirement, yet rather than fading, his legend only grew. By late 2025, the official Mr. Bean YouTube channel had surpassed 12 billion views and over 35 million subscribers, earning millions of daily views. Rowan Atkinson had not just survived, he had become an enduring global icon, beloved by generations. And then came one final twist. In 2024, the animated series confirmed a long-running fan theory. Mr. Bean is actually an alien. The show revealed Bean clones inside a spaceship, and even referenced his mysterious rival from the sky in the original intro. After decades of speculation, the truth was finally out. Despite everything, the global fame, the awards, the billions of viewers, Rowan Atkinson still says he often feels like he's not good enough. But to his fans, he is one of the greatest comedic geniuses to ever walk the earth. The boy bullied for his looks became a global icon. The child mocked for his speech became the world's most famous silent comedian. The man who felt like an outsider became the person who made every one of us laugh. And that's the true legacy of Rowan Atkinson, the genius behind Mr. Bean and Blackadder, a man who turned struggle into laughter and silence into art. If you loved uncovering his story, like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes tales of the world's greatest legends. Thanks for watching.